All right, so we're going to be jumping right back into this Beatles tune. I have 2 other tunes down the road. So we got a lot to tackle today, so we're just going to jump right in. 50 BPM for this. So here's a quick breakdown of the part again, just in case you didn't watch the first live video. So beat 1 is going 1. Okay, beat 2. Foot hi-hat, snare, and ride all on 2. So it's... Then we have a and so we got 2. Cool. Let's just do those 2 together. So it's 1 and 2 and and then on 3, 3 and 4 and. So 3 and 4 and again. All right, so let's put that up again. So just do each one. Just get this groove back into my head. Beat 2. This is difficult. Go slower. A lot of people don't spend enough time with their foot hi-hat. You know, even going 1, 2, 3. Later on, he'll use the foot hi-hat. Ringo will use the foot hi-hat to kind of keep his time on a fill. So it's just important to work on this kind of stuff. So it's 2 and If you watch the first video, you know I like to rush that 2 and we'll work on that today too. All right, so then 3 and do a couple of those. And then 4. All right, so from 1. So let's hear how fast 50 BPM is. It's a little bit different than the speed I was doing, but close to it. 4 and... If it's difficult with metronome right away, I suggest you practice it with metronome, but also just by itself. Slow is always the answer. All right, so now that I said slow is the answer, let's speed it up by 10. And 3 and 4 and... we're just gonna keep on trucking. Let's do 8. So we're at 68. And 2 and a 3 and 4 and. So 1, and we're gonna do that same tempo without metronome. And try not to rush. All right. 74. We're just making up all the numbers today. 2 and a 3 and 4. So anytime that I'm feeling it and then maybe get a little cocky or Thomas, it's going well. I apologize that I'm doing drums. I don't really apologize, but I will get back to guitar this week. I have some songs I need to work on for drums, and so that's why I'm doing drums, but it's good to see you. And I hope you're practicing. You mentioned a new Morgan Wallen song that we will get to. So if I'm playing this groove, and I suddenly go back to hi-hat, it's because I'm either rushing. Well, it's because I'm rushing. I don't usually play slow. I usually play too fast. So let's see if I can do that without rushing. Got it. Sean James. So, not feeling terrible about 74. Let's do 80. You can hear me push that tempo. All right, we're going to do the 90 and then go back down. Full speed is 87, so if I can play it at 90 and do well, it means I have it. Or it means I'll rush it like I did last time. All right, so let's see if I can calm down and play 87. I know that when I did this the other day, it was hard for me not to want to rush 87 yet. So that just good to do it every once in a while without metronome. For me anyway. Maybe you don't have to. So that's getting that up to full speed. Let's do it one more time with metronome, and then I'll chat. So I'm feeling pretty good about that part. That kind of gives you the main chorus idea. There's a drum fill I'm going to do. There's another beat I kind of like too that I might work on. If you guys want this full sheet music, we don't have it on our website. You can go look at this, what we have, the chorus section, but we did not write anything else yet. If you want it, we need 10 subscribers at $9.99 a month. It's my infomercial part of the talk. We need 10 subscribers, $9.99 a month. That gets you 10 sheet musics, 10 pieces of sheet music would probably be the best way to say that. And that's how we run this business, and we can do more videos like that if we get that. The difference between our sheet music and everyone else's, actually do this. Go to Google, type in Now and Then Beatles track. You'll see 3 other pieces of sheet music, and I don't want to be, they're just not great. They're just not as thought out as the stuff that we write. And there'll be a day that I can play the stuff that we write out. But for right now, this is the best I can do. So I hope that helps you on this song. Now, what I need to do next is I need to learn 2 songs to teach for tomorrow. And I got an interesting student. He's 15. He learns a little bit different. And I'm whenever I get a new student, I'm always interested about that puzzle. Like, how do they learn best? And I'm a better guitarist than I am a drummer, and that's not saying much about either. But he wants to sit in our lesson and watch me learn. And that's an interesting challenge because I haven't had a lot of drum students like that. I've had more younger drum students or even older drum students where I'd sit, I'd play something, I'd go, okay, now you do that 47 times. And that's kind of how I like to teach, like here's this repetition, here's this idea. We do this over and over again. He wants me to play through the entire song, which I'll indulge him a little bit and say, okay, let's do that. Let's play through the entire song, but then I'm going to say, hey, we're going to pick apart 5 different fills or beats, and we're going to work on them and focus them and see what we can do and what we can't do. So I have between today and tomorrow, which isn't a lot of time, which is why the rest of this live and my next live will both be working on different songs, and I'm not going to do this one first. He wants to work on Hell's Bells and In Bloom. So we're just going to start with Hell's Bells and start breaking it down. I think the AC/DC one is the simpler of the two. And, I'll report back tomorrow. Obviously, I'll be doing another live in a bit. I'll be doing another live tonight and a live tomorrow. But I'll report back and let you guys know if the lesson went well or if he quit. If he quit, it'll be, as they say, great content. It will not be great for my ego, but, that's how we learn. So, all right. I got to totally switch gears. Obviously, I wanted to get the Beatles one done, or more of it done, because it's a new song, and I don't think anyone else has it. And so it's always good to be first. First in, somewhat dressed. All right, so I'm totally switching gears. I do not know the full speed of this song. It is 108. Okay. So, 108. There's a gong in the beginning of Hell's Bells. I don't have a gong. I don't have gong money, as they say. And I'm not going to do that either. I could do this. I could do that. But for now, I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and. So that's all pretty straightforward. And you can see how he has 2 different crashers written out. So my higher crash. Let's see if I actually have my setup right. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to be using this crash. I'm going to be using this crash for beat 1, 2. But as soon as I get to the drum beat, I'm going to go 1 and 2 and. So let's see how 78 feels with that. And I think we can just do that whole section. So let's do all 4 of those. It's probably a terrible idea to jump in and just do that much, but we'll find out. I would have thought 78 would have been slower, but I just was doing like 50s. 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 1. I wasn't even able to think. 1. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to play on 1. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and. All right. To save us all embarrassment, let's just do these 2 measures and get that pattern done. So let's hear that tempo. 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can tell you that's 1. Just doing those 8th notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Shouldn't be hard. But just getting your foot and snare to line up. All right. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So if you watch the first drum live that I did, you could see how bad I was on the Beatles song, and now you get to see how bad I am at this song, learning something from scratch. I think the tempo's fine. It's easy for me to not hear the metronome well when I'm going 1 and 2 and. So, just something I need to work on. I'll do a couple more. I shouldn't say it's not hard for me to hear the metronome well. It's hard for me to not want to rush. It's hard for me not to have, for the foot to wait its turn. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and. Little things to pay attention to. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So you kind of hear that I like to rush that snare. First one, you heard it a lot. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So if you're newer to drums or you're a teacher like me and you're terrible, practice. Just sit here for a minute and get this idea of boom, ta, boom, ta. It's a drum beat that's going to come up in so many songs. Let's see. So, really, really rough idea. All right, let's get this beat down. 2, 3, 4. All right, so, we got a basic beat down. That's good. All right, so our first little fill, I guess I would call this. Guess I would call it a fill. So we're starting the same way. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Yeah, breakdown, fill, section, song, music. All right, so saw me move that to 70. 1 and 2 and 3 and. I like it. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. So So you could hear me play it and be mildly smooth. But you heard me the minute I played it with the metronome, I just talked. It's a skill. And, you know, if I do enough of these, we're going to develop that skill together. And maybe someday. So if you can play like this, but you can't play with the click, it means you need to practice more. Three, four. So, just going to try this a couple times. Obviously, I removed one crash. Really just trying to focus on getting the groove down. Now, knowing myself and how I like to learn, I just need to get a rough idea of most of this song, and then most of the next song, and then tonight do another one of these. I should not be worrying about getting up to speed. I should not be worrying about being perfect, which is tough for me. Instead, it's just, what's the idea of this? What's he doing? And play the right hi-hat. You know, that's where my focus should be right now. Not the nitpicking of, oh shit, I'm rushing it too much or anything like that. We'll see if I can get on my own way. And 4 and... Back to hi-hats. So really I should be hitting the same crash. I'm playing it as if it's two different ones, but it's not written that way. That was a terrible flam. So every once in a while, I'm getting a little bit of a rim shot in there. So, reasons I'm stopping and not focusing. Good. You always want to end an exercise wrong and then move on. Honestly, I feel okay about that. I feel like I'm getting the idea of what I wanted. All right. So here's what I'm thinking. I need a quick 5-minute break, get some water, and so I'm going to stop this stream and in like 5 minutes start a part 2 stream for this because I want to jump into this and I want to have enough time for Nirvana. But if I don't drink something right now, I won't be able to. All right. Hopefully somebody's watching. Thomas probably is. Thomas, you're